Hey there, welcome to the Working Man Sports Talk podcast, where we like to talk to other working men about sports. And if you aren't a man, who cares? Welcome to the show. Well, the official week one of the NFL is over, and we got to see what teams had to offer. Well, maybe. We didn't see much from the Giants. The Chiefs literally gave that game to the Lions, and the Vikings dominated the stats, but couldn't beat a Baker Mayfield-led Buccaneer team. And the Bears? Well, the Bears just looked the same. The 49ers dominated. The Rams look like the Super Bowl Rams. Calvin Ridley is back like he never even missed a step. And well, so on and so on. The New York Jets played the Buffalo Bills to kick off Monday Night Football. It was a game full of exciting and depressing moments. A franchise who put everything on the line for a future Hall of Fame quarterback. It was a newly rejuvenated offense versus a young powerhouse team still trying to make it over that hump. It was an AFC East classic battle, but with Rodgers going down with only 4 plays in, the stadium was quiet. You could hear a pin drop in MetLife Stadium. The young QB, Zach Wilson, was looking to lead the team to victory. A battle would ensue, and it would even go to overtime. But the Jets' defense rose to the occasion, and the undrafted rookie, Xavier Gipson, ran back a 65-yard walk-off punt return to end the game. Wow, that was just a crazy game. We also want to send good vibes to Rodgers after the terrible injury he had. That was bad. We hope that he does have a good recovery. But today we're going to talk about some teams here. We're going to go over the teams that should be panicking, what teams should relax and refocus, and what team to not overhype. I'm going to kick it over here to John, the analyst. I want to hear what his take is on this.
Hey, how's it going, Charles? So my first team that I say that should be hitting the panic button right away are the Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that is they just paid Joe Burrow big moolah, really big moolah, where he's the number one paid player in the NFL.
Big money Burrow. Yeah, they did. They paid him a lot of money.
And you're telling me he can't pass over 100 yards? He can't.
That was rough.
He can't pass for a touchdown pass. He can't, he couldn't do what he wanted to do. And everyone wants to say it's the O-line. It's O-line. But the O-line has been there. They may have replaced 1 or 2, but the rest of the guys have been core guys for the last couple of years.
This is true.
So I think they should be hitting the panic button because nothing's really changed from that offense. They have the same weapons, same O-line, same quarterback. I think they should be hitting that panic button right away. Like just hitting.
And I understand that because it's almost like what happened? Where did everything go? Where did everything that we built over this time period? Where did it all go? It just vanished. And I do understand some teams do have some rough games, but that looked like that game was literally just taken from them.
Oh, it was. And it was taken around the first quarter. Like it was done. Like I said, Joe Burrow only had 82 yards passing. You're the highest paid player in the NFL.
See, that sounds like a bad Madden game. 82 yards.
And you only have 82 yards?
That's rough.
Joe Mixon had the high for rushing for 56 yards. So it's like, what happened here? Like, did the bottom just fall off on this team? We don't know. Well, they have to play against Baltimore next.
And like you said, you think they need to panic and get this thing back on track. We'll see what they do next week against Baltimore or this upcoming week on Sunday. It's Sunday, right? Sunday matchup?
Yeah, this is a Sunday matchup. It's at noon.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. What else you got?
My second team that should be panicking is the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, I completely agree, especially where they revamped that receiving core and they were talking about they're going to do all these changes and they're going to make this thing work, and it did not show up on Sunday.
It didn't. It was bad. Which we knew their defense was going to be somewhat suspect. That's a given. They really haven't touched, I feel like, really anything on their defense except for here and there. Got a couple of big names, but otherwise than that, they really didn't revamp anything on their defense. But their offense, they're talking about, they have this high-powered offense. They got Chase Claypool last year. Darnell Mooney's coming back healthy. DJ Moore, Cole Kmet. And so it's like, and you have Justin Fields as a quarterback.
Yeah, and when you add those pieces in there, we were all excited to see Chicago maybe make some moves.
Oh, yeah. And as I was watching the Chicago Green Bay game, I was thinking to myself, are they all on lock, or can Justin Fields not see the field? And that's one thing I remember we talked about on one of our first podcasts on here was, Can Justin Fields see the field?
Yeah, does Justin Fields have the field vision?
And
I didn't
this
look like
first game, it did not look like it at all.
Guy can run for his life, though.
No, that's the truth.
So what do you think the Bears will have to do to, in their panic mode, if you think they should panic? What do you think that they have to do to get back on track?
Justin Fields cannot lead you guys in rushing.
This is true.
He cannot. You have to get DJ more and more involved because he didn't do anything. Like, he wasn't even,
he wasn't even relevant.
No, he wasn't. And I think they need to get Cole Kmet more involved too. Start off, hey, do a couple, get the play action going. Run some RPOs. Something to get that ball going.
Yeah, some wildcat, something to mix it up, because clearly whatever they did the first game did not work. Now, granted, Green Bay does have a really good defense.
Oh, they do. But
so they probably throwing all kinds of looks at them. But this point in the game, with the experience that was out there on the field, they should have performed way better than that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and now what about the teams that you think should relax and refocus after week 1?
2 teams I think they should relax after week 1. And a lot of people think these guys should be in the panic, but I think they should be in the relax mode because there's nothing to be panicked about just yet. And that is the New York Giants. Yes, they got 40 donut on them. It was a bad game. You played in bad weather. Anything that could have went bad for them. That's not.
This is true.
Hey, this is a bad team. It's not a bad team. They had a lot of brand new pieces coming in too. They're trying to revamp the whole offensive line. They had a rookie center starting for them who, Sunday Night Football, it's big. It's downpour raining. And Cowboys had a great plan. They weren't going to pass the ball. They barely even passed the ball. They ran the ball. That's because their defense and special teams stepped up and did what they had to do.
Yeah, and I completely agree with that too, because when you see a team get blown out that bad and everything is going wrong, at that point, especially to be in the first game, you don't want to be like, oh, it's time to panic. It's like, no, it's one of those things where things just don't work out. It's just a bad day at the office. We've seen Dallas do this to teams before where they're hitting on all cylinders, and then we've seen them just get smoked and be obliterated. I felt like it was a fluke game.
I mean,
and that's what they talked to the coach of the Giants after the game. They asked him about, is there any lack of effort or anything like that? And he goes, no, my team came to play. It didn't work out. But he doesn't second guess anybody's effort that was put forward. DJ staying in the game all the way to the end in that rain with the secondary players that came in showed that he was a real Iron Man.
He did. And just saying, the Cowboys, I feel like over the last 5 seasons or so, I feel like they always blow someone out.
Yeah, it's like a pure dominant game. I mean, the Vikings have felt that the last 2 years, just pure dominance.
So it's like, yeah, this is nothing new. Now, if Dallas goes ahead and does it like a couple more times, then we're like, okay, they're the real deal here. But
there's nothing wrong with that. That defense is good.
Oh, yeah.
But that was just obliterating.
The Giants just need to relax, go back to the drawing board, go into Arizona and beat the Cardinals. If they can beat the Cardinals, everything's going to be all right. But if they cannot beat the Cardinals, it's time for them to hit that panic button then.
I think they take the Cardinals down.
Oh, same here.
All right, and who else do you have that needs to relax and refocus?
The Jets, the New York Jets. Aaron Rodgers went down. Everyone started freaking out. We need to get a veteran quarterback. Come on, get Tom Brady out of retirement. Like, no.
I mean, that's the media drama and the media circus that comes around. I mean, it's New York.
But calm down, relax. Zach Wilson looks like he's been growing underneath Aaron Rodgers so far through this offseason.
But is it enough?
I think it will be. Who's out there right now that you can say, is it enough?
Brock Purdy.
No. He's not. They're not going to trade for him. I'm talking like right now who's a free.
Oh, I thought you were saying out in other teams who was enough.
No.
But you're talking about enough for the Jets?
Yes.
Jameis Winston.
No.
I guarantee he would dominate out there.
No.
But
he'll have another 30 for 30 season.
I don't think so. But if I'm the Jets, I keep Zach Wilson and keep going at it and find a veteran backup somewhere. because this guy knows the system more than anybody in the league right now because it's their official playbook. And maybe call in, I would say, Jameis Winston or what's his name, who was the starting quarterback for the Saints last year, Andy Dalton. Somebody of that caliber of a player at the QB position to come in and kind of mentor still from the side. He could be working with Rodgers and that guy. And if things do go south, they got someone they can lean on to at least manage the game.
You know who I'll bring in?
Who?
So just to be a backup, be a mentor. I feel like at this point of their stage, that's what they would take that as a role. Hopefully they would.
Who?
Like Cam Newton.
Yeah, I don't see why not. At this point, this stage right now of building this team, bring him in. Try it out, see how things work. I was going to say Zappy, but he just got re-signed again with the Patriots.
Oh, did he? Wow.
He did. He did get re-signed again.
That's a shocker a little bit because they're just like, Mac Jones is our guy.
Yeah, but they lost Matt Corral. He is gone. They answered the question, I think it was today. Belichick said it was personal stuff that was going on. So they re-signed Zappy back on the line. All right. And what teams do you think that we should not overhype just yet?
Start off the Rams, Los Angeles Rams. We shouldn't overhype them. We saw what they were last year. And, on the offensive side, Cooper Kupp is still out. I mean, they had a dominant game against the Seahawks, but overall, I just still don't think they are that team.
They will be tested next week against San Francisco.
Oh, yeah. And that right there is going to show it all. I mean,
they'll get exposed or they'll do the exposing. I do believe that. Or maybe it'll be a tight one. Maybe it will be tight because they got Aaron Donald back on the defensive side. That offense does look like it's starting to gel a little bit. Who knows?
But will Aaron Donald be enough?
That guy, I hope. I mean, for them, they better hope so. Because I don't want to see another Rams 49er blowout. I think they got blown out twice last year. But the team has had time to adjust without Kupp. So they know how to play without him now. So, I mean, we'll just see what happens. But I can agree with that. Don't overhype the Rams just yet. But they did look like they were their previous selves without Kupp.
They did. They looked more. Their offense looked more rounded. They looked more complete. I feel like with Kupp out there, every pass that Stafford is going to is Kupp. And that's when you see this dude just, ends up having like 20 targets with 15 catches. And it's like, what happened? And Stafford threw the ball for 40 times.
Yeah.
But that's a team I feel like we shouldn't overhype it just yet. I say let them get through San Francisco, Cincinnati, Indianapolis. After, after the first 4 games.
And that's a tough schedule.
Oh, yeah. And then, but even after that stuff, they go against Philly and Philly. They go against Arizona and Pittsburgh and Dallas.
Get a break with Arizona and Pittsburgh, but man, that's still it's just going to be tough. It's going to be interesting to see where this team goes with this.
It is. It's going to be very interesting.
And do you have anybody else that you said that we should not overhype?
The Atlanta Falcons. Yep, I know they're. I believe they're tied for first place in their division.
It just all started.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying they beat the Carolina Panthers. It's just I wouldn't overhype them just yet. I want to see more from their quarterback play. I felt like that was a tight game. I feel like all the way down to like the last 5 minutes. Yeah, I mean, Atlanta didn't pull away with it until the fourth quarter. They scored 2 touchdowns. Otherwise than that, it was tied the whole game.
Conference play is usually pretty tough.
It is, but I just feel like the Panthers are not there yet. With them blowing, I wouldn't say blowing them out, but they beat them 24-10. We don't want to overhype the Falcons. We don't want to overhype the Falcons.
I don't even know if the Falcons, for me, that one I disagree. I don't know if anybody's overhyping them yet because I think they're both rebuilding too. So I think the 2 top teams in that conference are going to be the Saints and the Buccaneers, followed by the Falcons and then the Panthers. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know if anybody's overhyping that. That's just me.
I mean, I look at it like this. Can the Falcons win that division?
Are you asking me this?
Oh, I'm asking myself. I'm about to answer this own question. My own question here. I'm gonna say yes. I think they could win that division. Do I think that division is going to be very good? I do not think that division is going to be very good. I think it might be like how it was last year.
No, when it was up for grabs?
Up for grabs all the way through.
I think it came down to it was the Panthers and the Buccaneers. They had to play to get into the playoffs.
They did. And whoever won was going to be 8-9, I think it was.
And Tampa took that one in Carolina. That was a good game, actually.
So those are my teams that I have. What do you have? Do you have any other teams that were on the panic, relax, and overhype?
Oh, I do. Let me just start right now. The Vikings, that's a panic team. They should be panicking. The reason why I say this, first of all, you don't play any of your starters in the preseason. What's that all about? What the hell is going on? So all that rust is there. Then you dominate the overall stats of the game, but you can't win. Kirk Cousins throws 33 for 44 for 344 yards. 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Oh, yeah, and that's right. 2 fumbles. You can't win when you turn the ball over 3 times. I don't care who you're playing. You can't do it. I don't understand why you would go away from the passing game when it's been working and then go to running. They average 3 yards per run. If it's not broke, then don't fix it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, they only hand the ball off 11 times to Madison, so.
And then how much did Ty Chandler get? 2, 3?
3.
I think he got 3.
3 for 0 yards.
Jeez. That offensive line needs work.
Kirk Cousins, he got sacked 2 times, and you said he had 2 fumbles.
Yep, 2 fumbles and an interception.
So each time he probably got sacked, it was a fumble.
Which, again, pocket awareness. Hold on to the ball, tuck that in. That interception was torn away from Osborne. Hang on to the ball. That's why I'm saying there's things happening on different cylinders here that nothing's linking. You got receivers not fighting to hang on to the ball. You got quarterbacks fumbling. The line's not blocking. You're only getting 3 yards per run. And then you lose at home to a Baker Mayfield-led Buccaneer team. I mean, no disrespect to Baker, but he has a lot to prove still. And you're telling me that you can't win that at home? The defense, they stopped getting pressure at certain points of the game, which led to the Bucs' success. I mean, that's a joke. What a joke.
They only sacked Baker Mayfield 1 time.
Yeah, that's a joke. And then they got to go to Philly and win. If they don't win, they're going to be 0-2, and they'll definitely be panicking. And then they got to go into play the Chargers. And I think they have to play away. Another team that I say is panicking is the Steelers. They should definitely be panicking. I know they played a good football team with the 49ers. Like that's a whole different thing. Like, 49ers pound teams.
Yeah.
But you can't win when you turn the ball over again. Kenny Pickett threw 2 interceptions yesterday or on Sunday. They were dominated in every aspect of the game. He was sacked 5 times. Now, I believe this team, they do have some weapons. And they can be a competitor, but they better start making plays and competing because it could easily be a long season for that team. It could be really bad.
Oh, it could be.
Those are 2 teams I think should be panicking. And what was that?
They could be very bad. I mean, I feel like they needed to most definitely hand that ball off more, a little bit more to Najee Harris.
Yeah, I think they got to do something. I mean, when you're getting sacked 5 times, you probably don't even have a run game at that point.
No, I mean they only hand the ball off to Najee 6 times.
Anybody else getting more handoffs?
Warner, he had 3 handoffs for 6 carries. And then Kenny Pickett ran 1 time for 4 yards. So, I mean, the running game, it works.
What did the second guy have? How many do you have?
3 carries for 3. There are 3 carries for 6 yards.
So it's there, but I guess you got to do it more because whatever they're doing right now, that play calling was terrible.
I mean, Najee Harris cracked off a 24-yard run. So, like, the running is there. I don't know why they got away from it. Like,
I don't know, but they should be panicking because that's what they're bringing to the table every day. Every night, every day, a team is going to look like every Sunday, every team's going to look like the 49er team if they keep playing like that.
I mean, and not try to take away anything from what you're saying about the Steelers, but like you look over at Brock Purdy's, he threw the ball 29 times. Kenny Pickett threw the ball 46 times.
Yeah, because that's
I'll say Christian McCaffrey ran the ball 22 times for 152 yards. Najee Harris ran the ball 6 times for 31 yards.
because that's called balance. Look at the time of possession of that game. They held it majority of the game. Look at that. The 49ers know about possession. Look at the possession of that. Tell me, it has to be like almost 40 minutes.
Let me go here real quick.
I think it's like 38 minutes.
Yeah, somewhere around 38 minutes.
That's complete ball control. So that's why I think needs to panic. Now, teams that I think that need to relax are the Bengals and the Chargers. The Bengals, we've seen this story before. We've seen Joe Burrow get destroyed. We've seen them just on their downfall, but they always come back. They have a history of bouncing back. So I think they'll be fine. Protect your QB. He'll find the wide receiver. They had some rust. I think he's playing a little injured. I'm not worried at all. I think they'll be back in no time. And everybody was saying, "Oh, we're going to go to Burrowhead," and they'll have this big thing again. They'll be back.
You're telling me you're not worried at all?
No, not at all.
You have the highest paid player in the NFL, and you only pass for 82 yards. You're not worried?
Nope. Stuff happens. I think they'll be back stronger and better. Now, if next week or this Sunday they come up and they do the same thing again, well, then it's time to panic.
Oh, if they do the same thing again, someone's getting fired.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And then the Chargers, they just need to relax, get this thing going. They have a solid quarterback. They got great they have great playmakers. They had that game in Miami, but Miami just made better plays. I mean, what can you say? I mean, they were dogging out on each other. It just came down to Tyreek Hill, who is fast and made better plays. People say, maybe it's time to make some changes with the Chargers. They'll be in the playoffs. They'll come back again, and they'll get it fixed up. Again, it was a Miami matchup, and that usually with Miami, it comes down to who's going to make the most plays, and they got outplayed. But I think they'll be all right.
They said Tyreek Hill was the game changer of that game.
He really was. And like I said, they were fighting back and forth. It wasn't like it was a complete dominant blowout.
No, I mean, it was a 2-point game.
Yeah. So like I said, though they just need to relax. They'll be okay. And the teams who I would not overhype are the Packers and the Browns. They both had dominating performances, but it didn't feel like they had any pushback. It felt like their opponents just kind of, I don't know, had an off game or they were all out of sync. Almost like that Dallas game. I wouldn't even overhype Dallas yet. These things, like, they can happen. So we need to see them against somebody that gives them some pushback. And then we could talk about the hype. You're not getting pushback from the Bears. The Bengals, it was an off day, in my opinion. I've seen that team play. They are good. The Bears.
But when you have the highest paid player in the NFL, you cannot have an off day.
Well, people have off days, and I'm telling you
can't.
If he didn't get that paycheck before the season right there, what would you say right now? Would you say they still need to be scared or no?
No.
Why? Because it's paycheck?
Yeah. I mean, they pay him that much for a reason. And to go in there and only throw for 82 yards, come on.
They'll get it back. They always do. Remember that they always come back. They have a history of coming back. They have a history of having some off games. They will be back on top. But again, the Browns, I wouldn't overhype them yet. We got to see where that's going to go. And the Packers, that game against the Bears, yeah, I mean, good for them. A good game for Jordan Love. It did it without Christian Watson, too, which was pretty impressive. The Bears just look like trash again. The Browns, I don't know. Maybe let's just say maybe the Browns are just really that good and they just shut down the Bengals and the Bengals have no answer. Then maybe it's time to panic. Or maybe just the Browns just had their number that day. But we'll find out next Sunday when the Bengals take the field, and we'll see what they're all about. And we'll see how all these other teams perform. And we'll see who really needs to panic and who needs to relax or who needs to focus.
So, I mean, as I see it, we both have our teams. Like I said, relax. Giants, Jets, relax. Don't press that panic button just yet. Wait to see what Zach Wilson can give to you. And see what the Giants can do to regroup.
Yeah, we're gonna find all that out very soon. What about the Bengals?
They better be pressing that panic button right now. They better be pressing that sucker so hard, and there's not going back.
They're gonna be all right. They're gonna be all right. Just watch. They're gonna come up on Sunday. They're gonna dominate. They're gonna be back on track, and everybody will be taking a deep breath, going a sigh of relief, and okay, we're back. We're back. But if they do that same crap again, it's done. There is some serious trouble. Like you said, somebody's going to get fired if you have the best pay or you have the highest paid QB only throwing 87 yards. If he comes out and throws another 87 or 76 or 60, somebody's getting fired. I don't even know how they fell that far, but like I said, they have a history of having some downtimes and bouncing back. They'll be okay, in my opinion. But that's all I have. Do you have anything else you'd like to say?
That's all I have.
All right, guys. Well, I want to thank you for listening to the Working Man Sports Talk podcast. Like, share, comment below, and don't forget to subscribe, and we will see you next time on the show.